Hello, welcome to the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Every week, we bring to you a program about education, innovation, technology, or humanitarian service. My name is Mitty Chang. I'm the president of this Rotary Club. It's my honor to introduce to all of you all a couple of our members, and then I'm actually going to have one of our members introduce our club speaker for this week, and then I just see another member. So in no particular order, other than the order I see on my screen, underneath me is Ken Oku. Ken, give everyone a wave. Ken is a student right now studying software engineering, and he also has a little bit of military background, but he's also probably one of the coolest guys I know. He's living in the San Francisco Bay Area, so if you're in the area, definitely hit him up. And next to Ken, we have Sviako. Sviako is worked for One, which is a nonprofit, and he was based in Los Angeles for some time, and now is currently based in Zimbabwe. So Sviako is one of our resident world travelers in the club as well. Underneath both Sviako and Ken, we have Shags. Shags is our membership chair and a resident of the San Francisco Bay Area. He is a money coach. He is also a paella master and an excellent chef. He has an adorable little dog as well. And I'm going to turn it all the way back to Ken for our introduction of our guest speaker, because Ken is the one who actually brought us our guest speaker. So Ken, please take it away.
Well, hey everybody, thanks Minnie for the introduction. I was able to meet Paddy at a Rotary meeting, the Rotary Club of Fremont, who I frequent, and I really like that club. Paddy is an entrepreneur. He moved to America in 1992 as an adult. He worked for a while and then eventually started his own business. He started a coffee shop in the Warm Springs area. He has a background in tech. He said that he has a background in large-scale database tech. That's what he used to do. And now he started a project called Daily Bowl, which he presented at the Rotary Club of Fremont, and it was a very passionate presentation, and I'm looking forward to present it to everybody else. Without further ado, I'll let him take it away.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Paddy Iyer. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Miri. Actually, thank you, everybody from the Silicon Valley Rotary Club for having me on. Ken did a very nice job of introducing me. Yes, I did own a business. I had a coffee house. I closed the coffee house a few years ago. I didn't want to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore. Trust me, when you own a coffee house, that's what you do. Wake up at 4 o'clock and then try to sleep after 1 o'clock at night, okay? But in any case, while I had the coffee shop, we were very, very deeply involved in the community. A lot of grassroots organizations received our support. We were sponsoring a lot of activities and everything. And once I closed the coffee house, I decided to return the favor to them, if I may say so. So I started volunteering with other organizations and stuff. And one of the things that I found was food. People were always asking for food. People were always looking for food. And then, one thing led to another. I started investigating why people are asking for food. Why are they requesting for more food assistance? And then the data was pretty stark. Tri-City area, which covers Fremont's, Union City, and Newark. There are, especially with the post-recession and the boom in the post-recession, there are a lot of families that are being affected. They're not getting proper produce and everything. So with that, the light bulb, if you will, clicked off, and I started this venture of mine called Daily Bowl. And if you would allow me, I will share the screen of the PowerPoint presentation that I have, and I will walk you through that. So please excuse me while I hit the share screen there. Okay. So let me know if you can see the slideshow. Are you able to see my slideshow here? So,
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So this is my organization, Daily Bowl. I'm just going to read a little bit. It distributes sustenance to families in need by solving the last mile problem in food recovery at the lowest level. A very, very wonderful marketing sentence. But in layman's term, what it means is people need food. We deliver food to you. We find sources and we deliver it to you. So the why are we doing this? Because families need better access to nutritious meals. And it's very true. When you're hungry, let's take us for an example. We're driving around, or we're doing something and we are gosh darn hungry and we want to eat something. We have $2 in our pocket. What do? We just go down to a fast food joint and grab a burger or something like that. Satisfies your hunger, but is it nutritious? It's not. Okay. So, and with all that, I started investigating and I came across the value of the power of one. What is the power of one? You go to the grocery store, you look at a produce and you look at this zucchini and you say, oh, it looks ripe. It is not good, so I'm not going to take it. You leave it on the shelf or you drop it on the floor by mistake. Now, you don't want that one zucchini, but there is a family that can use that one zucchini in their cuisine, a very healthy. That starts the power of one. Now, one person helping out another person for their food, it's returning to the community. So you see, just that singular action can benefit in so many ways. And that is the philosophy to which I adhere to and which Daily Bowl adheres to, is the power of one. A single action can help in so many ways. Okay. The data that I have, and I'm being very conservative with this data, I'm being really conservative. 30% of the families in Fremont, Union City, and Newark, they cannot get enough sustenance daily. Okay. And it is true. And I interact with a lot of them. You waste $1,500 as a family per year on food waste. You go and buy the groceries at the market. You go and buy the groceries at the store. You put it in your fridge, and then you forget about it. It rots, and voila, you have wasted the food. So you learn. So my philosophy, or my mantra here is to educate you to buy just what you need. And if you think it's getting rotten, distribute it to the families that need it. And then you think about it, the power of one, that one zucchini. What is the wastage factor? 52% gets tossed, 40% by business, roughly 63 million tons waste per year. Okay. But by the same token, you don't think, what is your natural system? You get 28% is used to produce wasted food, 25% water, 5% for transportation. Nobody thought about that. You just say, oh, the zucchini is bad, I'm tossing it away. But you don't realize the implication that, or the transactional systems that went into this, your land, your labor, your water, your transportation. So you see all this combined, okay? And the paradox in the Tri-Cities, low-income families have limited direct access to nutritious quality meals, which is very true. $86,000 annual income to make ends meet for a family of 4. If you look at $86,000 for a non-Bay Area person, it is like a gazillion dollars in the bank. But for a Bay Area person, it is pennies in the bank. It is the high cost of living. And then because of legal fears, food businesses throw out food. And this is actually very true, because I had my own business. And, when I wanted to give away the excess, let's say the pastries or the sandwiches that I had at the end of the day, I would just give it away. But then back of my mind, I had this thing about, oh dear, what happens if somebody falls sick? So you see, there is that fear. And so people don't distribute that. How can we solve this? I built a distributed network of sites in the food desert areas that will be recipients of the food that we glean. So glean is a word that is a term that is used for collecting all the food from different sources. So, it's that one large sentence becomes one word, which is glean. And we go around picking up, gleaning up food from everywhere, and we build up a distributed network and we serve it. And this is how we do this. There's a community that comes into Daily Bowl. We go out, glean, we produce. The produce aspect is my second year projection, but right now we glean and we distribute, going back to the community, and then it returns. So there's that. And what have we done so far? We have gleaned all these produce items from various grocery stores. You see this, I mean, I hope you can see the photographs, but all these, we have gleaned items from grocery stores. These are all fruits and vegetables that were either blemished or just about to go rotten. And we gleaned it and we distributed to the food pantries, and people used it. Now, let me tell you, in 6 weeks, I have gleaned nearly 12,000 pounds of these kinds of fruits and vegetables, which were otherwise getting tossed. Now, this went to the families, okay? So not only do we glean fruits and vegetables, we talk to catering companies when they have excess catering food from their sites. They call us, we take the excess catering food that is not touched, we distribute to the families in need. So you see, there is a relation how we are returning it to the community. Businesses call us, we help the community out, okay? Our mission is to glean imperfect and slightly blemished produce food from stores that otherwise get tossed, 12,000 pounds worth of produce. Glean and improve backyard garden rescue. This is something that I'm really pushing for, is because Bay Area, a lot of the houses, they have excess fruits and vegetables that gets tossed. Collect it, we will come and take it. So for example, there is a block party sometimes that happens in Newark, where all the families get together, they harvest the produce, and then they call me and I go pick it up. So I wind up with about 60 to 70 bags of fruits and vegetables that I distribute to the pantries. Glean and rescue unserved excess food from restaurants and catering companies, fully adhering to local health and Good Samaritan laws. The Good Samaritan law from the federal level says that it is okay to donate food to nonprofits that in turn use it to feed the people in need. So that's been in the books for a while, but it wasn't publicized so well. And we're also working with the local health department to say, to the businesses, it is okay to donate food to nonprofits like ours or the Second Harvest Food Bank down in the Santa Clara County and all that sort of thing. And I'm working with the Alameda County Health Department to come up with a small one-page policy that can just go across to the restaurants. But as they say, it's a bureaucratic organization. It's going to take time for them to come in, but they are fully supportive of our endeavor. Okay. And our mission is to provide nutritious cooked meals to anyone in need of sustenance, prepare, cook, and distribute meals by efficient and effective means, and provide volunteer opportunities and job training through reentry programs. This is my second year projection, where we go around and using the same produce that we have gleaned, we cook, and then in turn we distribute it and we serve it to people. And so right now I'm just focusing on the gleaning component. The next year, probably around June or July, is when I'm actually going to start cooking what I have and use that to distribute it across. So now I've done both. I get the raw materials if people need the raw materials. I also have the prepared materials if people need the prepared materials. And I provide volunteer opportunities and job training for the reentry program. Paddy's Coffee House used to have employees. It was nothing new for me, because I wanted to do it back. Our employees were juveniles from the system. So nothing new for me to see them wearing ankle bracelets at the shop and their apparel officer sitting right across the counter. And I have rehabbed a lot of them, and there's nothing wrong with them. The way I look at it, they might have just had a change of address for a while. Okay. In this case, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help out people who've been in the system for 20, 25 years. And then when they come out, they have no recourse. So we provide job training for them. We show them how to can vegetables, can fruits, go out and market and stuff like that. So that's our mission. And we have a policy of open doors and open arms, non-denominational and non-judgmental. We work with all places of worship. We work with all cultures, all ethnicities, and we never say no to anybody who needs food. We all of us breathe the same air, and we all of us eat the same. So everybody needs the same help. Our vision is to reduce food waste by connecting the sources to families who need sustenance for their children, bind the community to a common cause, and end hunger. And my board of directors. So this is my board of directors. This is myself. And there's Mr. Jaramillo, who's the executive director for Centro de Servicios in Union City. Daryl McAllister, who's the chief of police for Union City Police. And let me tell you, when I had this vision, I thought it's going to be a law and order problem. So the best way to do it is go to the source. So I talked to the police chief and said, will this be a law and order problem? He said, no, but I will help you every which way I can. And he's opened up so many doors, and he's been a great mentor for this project. And trust me on this one. Lance Nishihara, who is a dedicated Union City community activist. We have Gary Singh, who is the business owner in Union City, very deeply connected to the Sikh temple, very deeply connected, surprisingly, to the Filipino community too. But, that's part of the business. And he is opening up so many doors in so many ways. Manny Fernandez, who's coming in from the Union Sanitary District. He's also the former council member for the city of Union City. Paul Miller, who's the former executive director for Kidango. If you are in the Tri-City areas, if you drive around, you'll see the Kidango signs. That's Paul Miller. It's an after-school program for kids. He started it from nothing to a multi-million-dollar operation, and a great resource to have. Ken Pon, who's the planning commissioner from San Leandro. The other photograph I do not have is, we just got confirmation, is Mrs. Anu Natarajan, who's the former vice mayor of Fremont and a former council member. Now, if you look at this and you think, is he building up a board of people with just resumes? I am not. I am building up a board with people who have policy experience, people who can guide me and open the doors for me at various levels, because I can talk till I'm blue in the face about my business, but I need somebody to guide me to the proper source. And that's why I built up the board that I have. And it's taken me a while, but everybody have bought into my vision. Okay. So that's my board. And this is my broad movement. I kind of started this in January, started defining the process, and then I had to get it legalized and IRS and stuff like that. Then I am now in October, I'm going to concentrate in Newark, the city of Newark, trying to build that city up. Okay. Our donor agencies can be grocery stores, can be catering companies, can be restaurants, can be businesses, backyard gardens, in short. Our recipient agencies, this is how I'm partnering. And this is what I mean by a distributed network model. Centro de Servicios in Union City, Caravan Project. This is a beautiful, innovative project from the city of Union City. They found a lot of families living in their cars. So to help, now the cities can't just build houses to accommodate the families, but what they in turn did was, look, if you're going to be living in a car, let's provide you safe shelters for the night. So every night, the families can sleep either at the senior center, or they can park at the senior center, or at the Holly Center, or the different centers. And some places have Wi-Fi, some places have showers, but what is happening is the city is giving them a safe spot to live. And those families need food. And that's where all my catering food goes there. Kids Zone, again, is from Union City. It covers the Tri-City area. They help out these kind of school kids and families in need. Brown Baptist is a Baptist church, a very, very nice pastor. And he called me out of the blue one day and said, look, I heard you're doing this. I want to work with you because we get a lot of these families that need help. So They are my recipient agencies for produce and everything. Resonate Movement is a movement out of the city of Fremont, a very, very great movement. They do a lot of work with the homeless as an outreach, and I partner up with them to give them my excess produce and stuff. Tri-City Volunteers, which is based out of Fremont. St. James Church, St. Edward's Church, the Sikh Temple, and the mosque. You see, places of worship. Now, why am I partnering with them? This is a future partnership for me because they have commercial kitchens. I do not have to build kitchens. I can use their premises to cook. And people can come to the places of worship and eat out there. Now, I also cook out there, and I use a food truck model to distribute my food to the people that need it. So that's why I'm working with these places of worship. And I'm not limiting myself just to these. Today, after this, I am meeting an agency that provides rehab facilities to drug addicts and people coming out of the prison system. So they have a 51-bed unit in Fremont. So I'm going to be working with them to be a recipient of the produce that I glean and stuff, and use their employees to be my volunteers because they come out of the system. I can train them and stuff. And then my data sources that you see was from all these places. And can we get your help? Now, when any nonprofit comes and talks to you, the first thing that all of you are afraid of is you lock up your pants thinking that, oh, he's going to reach into your wallet. Actually, no, I am not going to reach into your wallet right now. I just need your help in helping us spread the word that we are around to glean stuff from you. You know, people who are in the catering business, have them call me. You know, people who are in the restaurant business, have them call me. You know, ethnic grocery stores, have them call me. Your own gardens you have produce, call me, I'll take it, okay? I'm not asking you for money right now, but by golly, I am going to ask you for money later on, okay? I'm not set up yet to accept money, and I frankly don't want to do that. We have filed for our 501c3, our status is pending. The number should be available by the end of the year, okay? So you assist us with the material donations, you help spread the word within your social circle, connect us with people that will actually benefit from our work, okay? That is the most crucial thing. That's what we need help on, okay? And that's about it. Here's my email, paddy@dailybowl.org. My phone number is 510-599-6467. Website, well, don't go to the website right now. There's nothing there. But there is a lot of stuff on my Twitter and Instagram, which is Daily Bowl UC. And we're very active on Instagram, very active on Twitter. A slight point of levity here. My website is Daily Bowl, but you see the Instagram is Daily Bowl UC. I'm an immigrant, not too well versed with the pop culture, really. I didn't realize a daily bowl meant a daily intake of marijuana. Yes. So if you go to the Instagram of Daily Bowl, or if you go to the Twitter of Daily Bowl, you'll come across people selling weed and bongs. Okay. They need help. Well, they're getting help there, but that's not my help. So my Instagram is Daily Bowl UC. And that's about it. So thank you very much. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen right there. Okay. And there I am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paddy, for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
So we'll have some time right now for some questions from some of our members on the call. I'm going to start it off. So wondering, Paddy, it sounds like an incredible program that you're running right now.
Thank you.
And I definitely think we want to get a little bit more involved, and we want to help spread your message. And I was actually wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit more about how the execution actually works in terms of how you, like who actually picks up the food that is going to be donated. Is that just you, or do you have a team of volunteers? And also, is there a schedule, or is it just like every single day at the end of the day you guys will pick it up? And is there a specific geographic range?
Okay. So, excuse me. So let me cover the first part. employees and volunteers. Okay. You're looking at employee left hand, employee right hand, employee center hand. Uh, Part of the reason I'm not going out soliciting employees and volunteers right now, we are almost finalizing our insurance work. And till I get some insurance work, I do not want to take the next step. Okay. And I'm being really honest with that. I'm being really honest with that because this entire country runs on legal and insurance. And so that's part of the reason. And people have already asked that they'd like to volunteer, and I've put them on a list. And when I'm ready, boom, they're going to come and help me. In terms of pickups and everything, I do have a daily schedule of pickups. Usually it's in the afternoons after 2 o'clock. From the grocery stores, from catering companies who cater to the various the offices around here. So once the lunchtime is over, they know what is remaining. Okay. Occasionally, I get weekend calls for pickup and everything. Now, how do I handle my distribution? I maintain a spreadsheet of who needs what. Okay. I also distribute that spreadsheet to the agencies that they can update and say, Paddy, on so-and-so day, we need so-and-so stuff. So then it gives me a basis to look at. And that spreadsheet also works out that they can look at it internally and say, oh, you know what? Mitti's a nonprofit has extra bread and Ken's a nonprofit needs bread today. You know what? They can talk to each other. If they can't drive, I will pick up from Mitty and drop it off to Ken. So it's building up a relationship there. I'm also looking at an app online called Fresh Desk. Fresh Desk actually started off for industries, but there is something in it that can connect as an app with all these agencies, and it's a ticket-based system. So if you have stuff to pick up, you go online, just write a ticket, and I'll get the notification and I'll disperse it down the line. So it's just something I've been playing with for a little bit, and I don't have a proper structured answer for that. In terms of how do I determine who gets what on which day, it used to be it would go on the spreadsheet, but now with schools opening and traffic being a little bit of a pain in the posterior, whichever agency is close to me gets it. Okay. The one thing I do insist on the agencies receiving help from me, they need to have a refrigerator on site. Without a refrigerator, I am not going to give it to you. It's pure health reasons. That's it. Okay.
Terrific. Thanks for answering those.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn it over to one of our members for some comments. Shags.
Yeah, excellent program, and
thank you.
A very blessed mission that you have.
Thank you.
What's your territory area from where you pick up? I'm in Walnut Creek, and I know there's a lot of places that have
food
and such.
Yeah. The territory area right now is, or the distribution territory area is Fremont, Union City, Newark. Okay. Pickup territory area could be anywhere, but it has to be worth the while to drive somewhere. I mean, if somebody calls us and says they have 2 pounds of rice to pick up, then you know what? It really is not worth my while. It should be a lot that I can pick up and drive back and forth. But honestly, right now I'm concentrating just on the Tri-Cities area. Once I get my insurance and a little bit of funding more to get a truck and a driver, then I can move across. As a case in point, I have a big company from Livermore called me the other day. The head chef of the company heard about my program and wanted to help me out. And we started talking about it. He says, look, it's not worth your while to drive up to Livermore every day, but I live in Castro Valley. Can you come and pick it up from Castro Valley? That makes sense for me. So I'll do that. So the same way with you, so because you live in Walnut Creek, if there's a huge enough volume, say from the catering companies, if I'm talking about 10 to 15 trays of food, oh, it's worth my time to come there and pick it up. Thank you.
Nice. So while maybe Ken and Siaka are thinking about their questions, I was wondering, is there what would you not take? what I think is where the question is going for in my mind. And I'm thinking more if we're at a conference or we're at a big event, for example, and there's leftover food. Where do you draw the line? Because I know there's also some, health regulations.
Yes. I draw the line. Okay. I will not take food that is kept outside, that is kept on the buffet line. Okay. So for example, let's say for your organization, you have ordered, let's say 10 trays of pasta. Okay. You're not going to put all 10 trays out, but you might use 1 or 2 trays and everything. So in the back room would be about 5 trays remaining. I will take those 5 trays. I won't take the 5 trays that have been used outside, just a little bit remaining and everything, because health regulations do dictate that I don't take it. It's a very simple thing. Like when you go to a restaurant, you order food. I can't take the food that y'all were eating. So it's very simple like that. The other thing that I'm trying to stay away from is it's very simple. So say you have an outdoor event, you have an outdoor barbecue. Okay. I probably, and I will not take anything that has a mayonnaise base on it, like a potato salad or something. That's one of the first points of illness is the mayonnaise based things. But barbecue meats and all this thing, oh heck yeah, I'll take it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken.
Hey, I don't have a lot of questions. I really appreciate this presentation. This is my second time watching it, and I just
thank you.
Yeah, it's really a full presentation. Like, I don't have a lot of questions. I just want to make sure that we get on the list, and that I can help in any way when you need.
Yeah.
When you get, and maybe one question is like, what kind of time frame are we looking on? You said that some things are pending, and when can I hopefully get involved?
Okay, so my 501c3 has been filed. My CPA said that optimistically we can get it by the end of the year. Okay, realistically, let's take it to spring of next year. Okay, my insurance should be ready by the end of this week, hopefully. So I've got my legal setup done. It's been incorporated and everything. Insurance by the end of the week. So once that is done, I can have somebody else drive with me, to do the pickups and everything. Okay. I'm planning a fundraiser by the end of the year to raise funds to help me get a truck and some other, the ancillary items that go with that. So where I will, the time frame for getting your help, probably just before Thanksgiving. Okay, because I almost managed to iron out all the components in the Tri-Cities areas. Newark is my last point. Once I get Newark lined up by the end of the month of October, then I know I'm ready to serve the Tri-Cities. Now, there is one thing that I think I did mention or briefly alluded to, the production point. Okay, what do you mean by production is? So when I glean all the stuff and everything, I'm going to be using the different places of worship. They have a built-in volunteer base. Plus, I have my own employees if I do. We're going to be cooking out there. We're going to be making daily lunches and everything, and that we're going to be using to serve the people who want food. Now, people who can't come, for example, so say the families can't come, the cities have a zoning restriction for food trucks, or what used to be called roach trucks. They could only be in the industrial areas for, let's say, half an hour or 20 minutes or so. I'm going to use that and do that because you don't want to see in your residential neighborhood people standing out there waiting in line for food. It quote unquote degrades your property value. But the city says, I can stop at an industrial area and distribute food. Families can come there. And by the same token, if you are hungry and you want food, heck, I'm not going to stop you from eating food. Just come and grab your food, make some donations. There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Siako, you have a comment or question?
Yeah, I have a question. Paddy, thanks so much for your presentation. This is
pleasure.
Really, really cool. So I think the problem that you're tackling here is not just obviously local to your community. It's a global issue. So
it's a global issue. It's a global issue.
I hope you're keeping some good notes and best practices that could help replicate your motto in other places as you continue to grow and then become more successful.
I do.
My question is, have you partnered with local universities or even high schools for both a source of donated food, but also a source of volunteers?
Yep. With the coffee house days, I'm very deeply involved in some of the high schools and everything. In terms of sourcing food from schools, it's a very, very gray, political, labor, or union-driven issue. Okay, so I shall leave it to some of the county agencies that deal with it, because they can get very picky and finicky. Okay, but in terms of the volunteers from schools and everything, yes, I do have. Once I'm ready, I'm just going to be presenting it to the high schools, and I know because they all need the community hours, and they'll all be willing to sign on. So that's my foot soldiers on the ground, if you will, to help me spread the word, because they can help me do the backyard gleaning. You see, that's an army who are very nimble, agile, and heck, they break a bone, it mends fast. I break a bone, it doesn't mend so fast. Okay, so that's the thing. And to address your question, it is a global issue. I have been making notes, and I am a firm believer in the open source model. I'm a very, very firm believer in an open source model. My coffee house days, when I had a coffee house, if I know you wanted to start a coffee house and you wanted some experience, you know what? Come and work with me. I'll train you. You go out and then you start your own. Same way with this, whatever I'm doing, I'm documenting it in such a way. If you want to replicate the model, say, for example, Steve wants to replicate it in Walnut Creek, I'm not stopping you. Because to me, at the end of the day, another mouth gets fed. Okay, so everything that I'm going to be doing is going to be online. My documentation, everything is going to be online. All I ask is give me credit. So, there you go. Thank you.
Terrific. Paddy, I think that's all the time we have for questions for this program. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Over to you for some last comments that you'd like to make, and then I'll wrap up the meeting.
My last comments, well, thank you very much for having me online. This is a wonderful, this is actually my first time doing something apart from being on Google Hangouts. This is beautiful, and I've met some really interesting people here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Spread the word. Food wastage is a serious problem. Food recovery is in a nascent stage. Families needing to be fed is a very serious problem. It is not a third world problem. It is a Bay Area problem. Okay, so spread the word. However, whatever we can do in our own way, we will help you out. And like I said, I'm not asking y'all for money, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to call me. When I get my things read up, I would like your help in helping me spread the word for my Kickstarter project kind of thing. Okay, but thank you so very much.
Thank you, Paddy, for joining us. It was
Thank you.
Really wonderful. Our guest this week has been Paddy Iyer, founder of Daily Bowl. The links below this video will be for his Twitter and Instagram, which you can check out, and also his contact information. Guests and members, please don't forget to also leave a comment at the bottom of this online meeting. And you can ask Paddy a question if you have a question for him, or you can just tell us how you're doing or how this meeting was for you. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Take care. Thanks. Bye.